are you brilliant people? And why are we here?
Rodney and John and Korey.
How did this all start?
Yeah, Rodney and I met making a movie years ago.
Great.
Playing half brothers. And discovered we both like music and stayed friends for, I guess, 18 years, something like that.
Yeah,
only
18 years.
Yeah, I met Korey, I don't know, some years back when he was playing with a band called Asylum Street Spankers out of Austin, Texas. Terrific band. So we got to be friends and we play together. So.
Yeah, I moved from Austin, Texas, which has a pretty good music scene. But it's just a smaller town, so it's closer to get to things.
Right.
LA actually has a pretty good music scene. It's just a little further apart. That's the only thing I've noticed.
Yeah.
I wandered here around Los Angeles for probably 15 years trying to find a music scene that felt like in Austin, Texas, because in the 1980s when I got here, I was going to a lot of venues and seeing a band play and their fans watch them, and then that band finish and their fans leave, and the next band come and their fans watch them. And then maybe about 8 years ago, I stumbled into a place called Cranes that's not there anymore, but it's why I'm here playing, because it was such an amazing bunch of songwriters, and that scene sort of moved to the piano bar for a bit and now is migrated to the Hollywood Music Hall and other places, but so many good writers. It was such a relief to find the tribe again, to find a musical tribe to be part of.
Yeah, and growing up here, I started going out to see bands when I was 18 years old, and there was bands like Jane's Addiction playing, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and there was a real sort of musical cohesiveness. There weren't a million different venues in Hollywood like there are now, so everyone, the tribe, like John says, everyone sort of moved around, and if there was a good band playing, there was no Facebook or anything. It was sort of like the Jungle Telegraph, you just found out from a friend of a friend, and everybody sort of congregated at the same place, and that sort of cohesiveness has really faded from the Los Angeles music scene.
I loved your song that you first shared with us, LOL. I mean, when a tweet with a sound a bird made, when a text was something that you read. Now, it seemed like you shared that as a reflection, but is there really an opinion about that?
Oh, I wrote that one. I guess a lot of my songs you could file under modern complaint. Maybe.
I'm going to start a new complaint at the Intersection.
A lot of songs that mention the modern digital age, usually, with affectionately, with tongue in cheek somewhat, but...
Does it bother you this will go viral? If we have your permission.
It does a little. I don't know how viral it will go. I mean, there's thousands of bands all with the same size megaphone screaming through them. There are thousands of people on the internet, so there's no...
Millions.
Everything's millions. Everything's... I mean, my friend was describing it the other day. She said, when I look on my iPod, every band has the same font and the same size print. And she said, it doesn't deserve to be that way.
Right.
But I'm from long ago, from the olden days when people had to get off their couch to go see people play live music.
So is that something you
hear
guys...
rock music, basically, because it wasn't in commercials and things.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in Austin, Texas in the late 80s in the punk scene, you had to leave your home to go see Willie Nelson or the Butthole Surfers.
Right, and you guys play your real instruments. You guys are singing your real voices. There's nothing electronic about it.
Yeah, and we write our own songs.
And you write your own songs.
So unusual these days.
Well, I just throw my voice. I'm not playing the violin. It's just.
But does that affect? I mean, you're playing in Los Angeles, where it's home of all of that other stuff as well. But you guys have found a family, a niche. You guys have helped create this family and niche.
Been part of something, I think.
It's funny, all this social media creates this so-called, connectivity, but I think it really just serves to isolate people in their apartments and not get out into the mix and not engage in real life. I feel like coming from back in the day and really living through a real experience, a real tactile, visual, and fully engaged existence, I think that's respected by a lot of young people, even if they don't know it. I think about when I was younger, and if somebody who knew what they were talking about started speaking, I would pay attention.
One really great thing about being in Austin, Texas in the early 80s was bands like the Big Boys, a really influential band. They're making a documentary about them now, but they would finish their set and say, fuck you, form your own band. How hard can it be? And I bet 70 or 80 bands came because of that, because of them. And that's why I play music, for better or worse, just because of the big boys. You know, sometimes they say, you should do this, you should do it. Go do it. Go make your band. We did.
So is that still the message now? I mean, that.
I don't know. You know, I think there's too much art and too much music. I would discourage people from making any creative efforts at all. Honestly, so leave it to the people who want to fight through it. I know that when I saw, I like the democracy of the internet, of the idea of everybody making their own movie and song. But the problem is there's too much. You can't really find things. We'll never again rally around one thing, which is kind of a drag. We'll never have another Beatles or Nirvana or something that everyone loves at the same time, because there's just everything everywhere all the time.
Too many options.
It's hard to be heard, but then there's all this expression. So is it like this positive or negative? Because people are feeling more free. They're not pent up. I mean, I don't know. Is it positive or negative to express yourself and feel like you have a platform? But who is listening is my question.
Yeah,
who's listening right now?
It's come down for me to be that I realized during the Cranes days, 5-6 years ago, at the end of Cranes, realizing that I'm listening to a lot of new music wherever I can find it, but all of my favorite music I was hearing was being made by people who lived within 3 miles of my house. So music became macrobiotic for me, if you will. You know,
Beautiful.
like how you macrobiotic diet where you eat things as close to you as you can find. Music became that for me. So now playing music, I don't have any dream of finding thousands of people to play for at any given time. To play for a dozen people is super rewarding. To play for 100 people is super rewarding.
Because it's not just something that you watch, you do.
I think so, and I feel like maybe the more that everything becomes digital and separate and kind of produced, that the more people might crave a live experience with some roughness and some guts in it. In a way, it's kind of a relief that there's no music deal, there's no carrot to chase anymore.
There's no music deal anymore.
Just making music.
Well, there are, but it's like, why do it? You know, I was in a mariachi band. I
noticed you rehearsing, and you were doing this beautiful classical stuff, and then I see you just rocking it. Wonderful.
But as Ralph Stanley said that, you know, kids looking for underground music should get into folk music because it's been underground for 400 years or whatever, forever. But you know, nobody appreciates bluegrass, really. I mean, very few people do. So you do it because you want to do it. But I mean, that's true of all kinds of folk music. Most people don't listen to mariachi. Most people don't listen to Irish music. Most people. So the people who do that music do it because they want to do it.
Right.
That's the only reason to do it.
And I think that goes back to what I was saying about just having something that's true. That there's, you know, with this proliferation of art and music, there's so many subgenres that people don't even know what they're listening to anymore.
But you guys, you're on the intersection here. Whatever this intersection means, we love that you embrace the noise behind. And because that's not easy for musicians. I know we're all about the sound. But thank you for coming here, for sharing your guts, your souls, your stories. Really, really blessed. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I will take the thank you. Thank you. And you're welcome. And make sure to stop at the intersection, please.
Because I saw that band many times in Austin.
Oh, you did?
College at the University of Texas.
So did I.
From '89 to '94.
Wow.
No shit.
I moved away in August.